Hi everyone, this is Tia Bottom from Time Marker Photography, and I do an interview series for my group Empowering Time Markers. And today I have a special lady that I've loved my whole life because she happens to be my cousin, and her name is Nancy Miner. She is a crafter and her specialty is handmade cards, and she volunteers and she gives so much. She's always done that. She's had an amazing life so far, and I am so proud to introduce her. Thank you, Nancy, for being here. Welcome. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you doing?
I'm here.
All right, me too. So thank you for having me. I'm very happy to be with everybody today. And so as Tia said, she alluded to some of these things, but I am indeed a paper crafter. So I make handmade greeting cards for about 20 different charities, as well as I have kind of a small hobby business on the side where people contact me and then we kind of make a contract of exactly what they want, and then I fulfill that. So that's an interesting part of this, but that only takes up a small amount of my time. Most of my time is spent with making the handmade cards and then sending out to the different charities. I focused most of 2020 on a couple of charities that send out to seniors, because as we all know, this year has been hard on everybody, but especially our seniors who are in lockdown, and a lot of them never got out of lockdown till they went back in again. So I think that's really important. I also am challenged by several chronic diseases, and I am a 4-time cancer survivor, but I have other, thank you, woo! So I have other chronic illnesses that challenge me on usually a daily, sometimes a regular basis, and sometimes not as regular. Sometimes they just rear their ugly head when they decide to. But to me, back when I got diagnosed with one of the main ones I am challenged by, I decided that instead of focusing on that, I would choose to focus on my abilities, not my disabilities. And I'm so much happier that way. Yeah. And people around me are so much happier because no one really wants to hear somebody that drones on and on and on about every ache and pain. Not saying we shouldn't ever mention it, because I don't think that's right either.
Right.
But I think if you focus on your abilities rather than your disabilities, it helps me, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So,
which I just love you. And I know that you are stronger than you even realize. So I am proud to call you my cousin. And
thank you, likewise.
Thank you. So tell me, what is the best part of crafting these cards to you?
Oh, wow. There's a lot of them, a lot of things. One is that I don't think there's anything better than doing something for someone else with no expectations of anything back. I don't expect they're going to write back. I don't expect they're going to do an email back. I don't expect to get a thank you through the organization. Those things are all just bonus. They're the cherry on top. If you get something like that, it's like, woo, I got a letter back. And we often share it in our Facebook groups. But I think for me, it's also incredibly relaxing and very rewarding. And I always tell people, what else can you do where I get the joy and the pleasure and the thrill of the hunt of going shopping? Now it's online shopping, supplies, and then the planning out of all the different designs and the different embellishments and planning the colors and everything that goes into it, and then making all the cards, and then sometimes deciding what charity, what cards are going to go for, and then sending them off into the world. And yes, I've sent cards around the world, primarily the US right now, but there's some charities, primarily military, where they go around the world.
Yeah.
So it's wonderful because my joy and happiness and pleasure gets to go out and hopefully bring that to the recipients.
Yes. And I just want to put in here that you are an extreme expert on charities and you are my go-to person if I am like, oh, I have this stuff, what should I do with this? Or, you know, connecting you. You're right on it. You are a very good person to know when you want to help the world. So I'm so happy to connect other people to you. If they have something, they can definitely reach out to you. So tell me, what is the most challenging part of making cards?
You know, right off the cuff, I want to say there isn't one, but I would kind of be fibbing, I guess, if I said that. You know, I think the hardest thing for me, the most challenging part is that I'm on a fixed income. I'm on a limited fixed income. So I always want to, you know, have more supplies and get more supplies and buy more things. And sometimes the budget doesn't always necessarily want to lean in that direction. Yeah. Sometimes the wallet goes, oh no, you got to pay the bills, you got to pay the rent, you got to pay. And then I go, oh yeah, there's all that stuff. But you know, this is not a sob story, far from it. I have a whole room with supplies. So mostly the consumables is what, if there's anything that can get you, it's the consumables, meaning cardstock and envelopes and, you know, postage and those kinds of things. But again, where there's a will, there's a way. Our grandma used to say that. Yeah. So that's, you know, I've got a lot of those little youth or whatever they're called. So, but you know, I think that would have to be, you know, the biggest thing is just balancing the budget on, you know, the things that I want to do and buy and so on.
So if somebody wanted to get into crafting and doing what you do, what advice would you give them?
Well, I say start with the basics. So you don't have to own every tool and every stamp and every color and everything of everything. I've recently seen, I'm in a lot of Facebook groups, and I see quite frequently someone who kind of asks that question, or they are new and they want to know what they should buy. And it always kind of cracks me up and yet kind of makes me really sad when I see some of the answers that people write in there. You know, they want you to buy everything. I'll just tell you that I started literally with a pack of cardstock, 2 stamps, 2 or 3 colors of ink, but what I think the key is I made sure they were stamps that were very versatile. You know, they were a little rose bouquet and an ivy vine. And I did so much with those 2 stamps until I could afford to drive back down. I was quite a long way from any place for supplies, like probably at least an hour away. So it wasn't something that I was buying. We didn't have online back then. I'm old. But so I think also one great thing is to make a friend. You can always contact me. Make a friend that's in the industry. Get someone who's knowledgeable. Not necessarily a demonstrator, not saying that they're not good. They're great people. They have great knowledge. But, you know, depends on if you're just going to buy from that one company. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Yeah. If that's what you want to do, by all means do that. But, you know, it just depends on your budget and so on. But that's definitely where I would start. I would start small and start with some projects in mind as well. Instead of just trying to buy everything that you think you might need, you know, go to some different resources and kind of get some idea of maybe your style, the types of things you like to do. It's a very big industry with an awful lot of different, you know, possibilities, but don't think in terms of you have to have it all.
What's your favorite store?
Oh my goodness. Probably scrapbook.com, because they tend to carry almost everything. So I also like Simon Says Stamp a lot. Between those two, you usually can get anything that you're looking for. They usually have really pretty good prices, although I am a girl who definitely shops all over, like online. So I'm not, you know, if it's cheaper over here, I'll buy it, but you do have to watch shipping costs. But those are probably my top 2 that I go to the most.
So I'm going to switch gears for a second, because I kind of want people to know, like, what other jobs you've had in your life. And could you tell me, because you've had different passions at different times in your life, could you tell me the key jobs that you've had in your life?
Yeah, I was employed as a police dispatcher and a matron. And prior to that, I did a lot of volunteer with the ambulance and the fire department. I still have that running through my blood. And I think that's why the helping portion, but I've always had that. I can remember being 7 years old and my younger brother was born, and me helping take care of him from the day he came home from the hospital. So I've always had that helping gene in me. I'm sure it was because of our grandma, and people don't know, but our grandma raised me. So she was an angel on earth. And so I've also done, like I was a school crossing guard for a short while. I've worked in hospitals in a couple different capacities. But I think you can see all those things come back to helping. Yeah. It's all people related. At one point I was studying to be a teacher. The education part didn't work out for reasons we won't get into today, but there was some, but again, teachers are helpers, right? They're the number, you know, they're really important. So I think that helping is just something that's all around in me. There's no way for me to disconnect from that.
Yes.
So, not that I want to, but.
I know this, and I'm going to share a short story of how when I was injured and had to stay in the hospital up in New York, you were the only one that would come, and we'd play Othello and we'd play card games. I just love you for that. So thank you publicly for doing that for me when I was.
You're welcome. It was my pleasure. It was a lot of fun. Not that you were in, but it was a lot of fun to come up with you and chat and laugh. And we always laugh when we're together. So if we're giggling.
Sure. That being said, you're gonna do a workshop for us. We haven't picked a date yet, but I will make an event and have that posted in the group. And we're gonna call it Words of Wisdom So Far, because you've had an amazing life with different things, and you were such a great helper. And our grandma, like, oh my gosh, she was a angel on earth for sure. I almost teared up when you were talking about her, because oh my gosh, I just love her so much. So and I know she's looking down on us right now and just being
absolutely. Like, oh. Absolutely. Our love only grows for her, right?
Yep. So I know that she is definitely going to be with you when you go live and talk about like all the different, is it euphemisms? I know I've been trying to get this word.
That's the wrong word.
No, dang it. I'll think of it.
Yeah, I will too, but maybe not during this recording, but.
Right. But anyway, if people want to reach out to you for any kind of knowledge on volunteerism or crafting cards, or need handmade cards for something special, they can definitely reach out to you.
Yes,
I'll post your link down below. It'll just be your Facebook Messenger. And thank you so much for doing this. I absolutely love you, again, my whole life. And I'm so glad to feature you. You're an amazing woman.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And all of those things I could say definitely right back to you, in all truth and honesty. I've known you your whole life. And so, and I've got pictures to prove it, but those will not be forthcoming. But yeah, I'm looking forward to doing the workshop and just sharing some things that have come through my life. And I think it'll be something that everybody can take away something from.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
But don't hesitate to contact me, reach out anytime, any of the above or anything else you think I might be able to help you with. I'm more than happy to try. And if not, I'll try to find you the resources that you need or want.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm glad that I can do this.
Yes, I love you.
I love you too.
All right, bye.
All right, bye.
Oops.